What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Real Hunting. Here, podcast. We are here in Texas. Me and old Shed Crazy, Ben Dedamonte, the foodie.
Yeah.
The drinky.
The fatty.
The fatty?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call it. No, he's just down here in Texas. We call you the brutes.
The big old boy.
Just a big brute.
That's the big old boy.
Yep.
Yeah, we just finished a good day here today in Texas of mostly fishing today. We got after the fish a little bit, but
Sorry, guys.
came back to do a little bit of cooking here at the Mullet Man Ranch, aka / Real headquarters. South.
Is it?
I don't know what it is.
Are we making the headquarters in Texas?
It's definitely our southern headquarters. We might have to have a couple different headquarters because at this point, who knows where we're going to end up. But we're throwing together some food tonight, doing a little bit of a cooking video for Mike's channel on a wild turkey that he smoked with a 410
in the
and
face.
is now smoking with a Camp Chef. So
Yeah.
twice smoked
So we did
turkey.
took the turkey breast and like filleted it in the middle so it opens up, like basically butterflied it. And thing that Ben doesn't have, or I guess a lot of people, y'all leave in the comments if y'all have it, but we have boudin. So I took a sleeve of boudin and cut it open, took the casing off, stuffed the turkey breast with boudin, and then wrapped the whole thing in bacon. And now it's on the Camp Chef.
How could it be bad?
So yeah,
We'll
can't
see.
be.
Yeah, I mean,
The only thing I could think of is if the bacon, like you said, if the bacon doesn't keep the turkey moist, it could dry out pretty quick.
it could, but I think with as thin as we did it and the amount of grease coming out of the bacon, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be solid. But it remains to be seen. So if you guys want to see how that turned out, go check it out on Mike's channel. And yeah, you guys probably watch all his videos anyway. So,
Don't know about that.
but we were talking today, and we were kind of BSing back and forth a little bit. And it seems like every time we get together, we end up spending a good portion of our time talking about food. You and I are both, I would say, connoisseurs of food, both wild game, fish, whatever else.
Yeah.
And it's a huge part of, I know my passion for the outdoors is, I mean, it's fueled by the desire to have good things to eat and to go places and hunt things and also eat in those places.
For sure.
And I think that it's like that for a lot of people, but not everyone, I'm realizing. Like our third partner in Real Hunting, good old Ben Sandman. Not to say he's not like a picky eater or anything. He just like...
Oh, he's picky. He's absolutely picky.
I think he'd probably get mad if you said that.
No, Ben is okay. He knows he is. He's a meat and potato, like straight up small town meat and potatoes. Doesn't want to venture out.
Corn-fed white boy.
Yeah, doesn't want his taste buds to experience anything amazing. But yeah, that's like you said. It's definitely a big part of my love for the outdoors, and my personal channel. Like that's like a quarter of the whole channel. That's half of the whole channel. Hunting is the other half. Hunting starts. Well, I mean, half of all hunting, if you're doing it the right way, is the after shot. Everything that happens after the shot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you pull the trigger, but you're going to spend a few months, in some cases, using up that animal.
Yep.
Working through
And
it.
changing it up and keeping different recipes going and not get burnt out. I mean, you can get burnt out on beef just like you can elk.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping new recipes and always trying new stuff, and it's fun. It's like a hobby. Trying out different recipes and not even, it's fun coming up with your own recipes, but it's fun. Like, I have a bunch of cookbooks, and using other people's recipes is fun. Just and then tweaking it from there on out, the way that you like it. But it's so fun.
Yeah,
Food
I
is
agree.
Awesome.
Yeah, I never thought I would be like a cooking buff, but like the last maybe 5 years or so, I've got super into it. And a lot of it was just getting out of my comfort zone. It seemed like growing up, like, my dad's a really good cook, but he didn't shoot that much stuff when I was
Really?
growing up. Like, every once in a while, he'd get a deer or something, and so we'd usually eat deer steaks, and they would usually be cooked well done. And I don't know if it was, like, a perceived safety concern, you know? It seems like, I don't know why, but we always ate just, like, fried, well done deer steaks. And I got a little bit older, started hanging out with some different people, and my eyes, like even I think the Hush guys really opened my eyes to like how delicious an elk steak is if you do it like medium rare, and you get like a good sear on the outside.
Rare, man.
You're full rare, huh?
I'm a rare guy.
I like a medium rare is where I live right now, and a good crusty sear on the outside, maybe like a reverse sear and a little bit of butter.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, and it's so simple. It's easier than frying them to death.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but fried deer backstrap is also amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ways that you can. I mean, a deer, an elk, or anything. And then, dude, I've just been intrigued with all the different stuff that you eat.
Yeah.
Like down here, it seems like the hunting and the fishing culture is so much more about food. Like you talk, even just to a few people that I've met down here, and like you, and it's like, let's go get this type of fish because they're delicious. And like where I live, it's like, oh, these are big, these are fun to catch, let's go get those ones. Then eating them's kind of an afterthought in some cases.
Yeah.
But down here, it's like, oh, let's go catch a bunch of crappies and then fry them up. That's the reason to go catch them.
I think up by you, and I've done a lot of trout fishing and ice fishing and stuff like that, and I wouldn't say all of them because I don't know, but I feel like a lot of guys up there that are fishing are sport fishing and not so much. Trout are good, but it's not a crappie. But down here, totally people are going to fish for food, like the white bass run. Everybody's going up there to catch their 25 fish limit and go home and have a big fish fry for their family. So it definitely is a part of life down here, though, going and getting food. But then on the other hand, there's things like hunting hogs down here. Like guys will go shoot 15, 20 hogs and leave them in a field.
Yeah. That's so crazy, man. And then you come from the Western perspective of like a big game animal is like precious.
Yeah. It's
wild to like walk away from a side of bacon, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. A little different, but yeah.
But sometimes, hunting isn't only about food, and it's not always about food. I mean, sometimes there's other reasons that you do it, and that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like with pigs, that can be the case, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's kind of funny to see. One of my favorite things about doing like what we do for a living is just going everywhere and seeing all the different perspectives and the way people look at food. Some people do not care about it. Like some people hunt and like suffer. Some people hunt and suffer through the deer meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we ate it. But
yeah, that's one of my favorite parts too, is traveling and like the different food that comes with different cultures, and like coming home. Me and my wife make like all kinds of like fried rice, stir fry, curry,
sushi, dude. I saw a picture of venison sushi.
Yeah, venison sushi, black buck sushi.
That's wild.
We love sushi. Sushi is awesome.
It's amazing.
What's your favorite, like your go-to last meal dish?
Like if I'm gonna die tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's tough.
Wild game or not.
Wild game or not.
Yeah.
Man. So, growing up, my mom used to make these things called pierogies. You ever had pierogies?
Sounds familiar, but I don't think I have.
Yeah. So what you get is like a dough, and you fill it up with cheese and potatoes, and then like you crimp them, and then you fry it with onions. And that was like. Every birthday, my mom would be like, what do you want for dinner? And like, that was always like my pick, but they're totally not like, they're just like a carb, just a potato loaded cheese thing. Those are just like my standard answer for that's my favorite food. But I think like nowadays, if I could have anything in the world, I think I'm eating crab, like a good crab boil. Mm-hmm. And anything wild game related, I mean, I think it's just got to be like a perfect, like probably an antelope backstrap.
Dude.
Can't beat it.
Really?
It's so good.
You're the only other person that I've heard say that.
Antelope?
So this year in Colorado, I shot my first antelope ever. Been a dream forever. Finally got it done with my really good buddy, Christopher, up in Meeker, Colorado. And I've always heard like, oh, they're disgusting. It tastes like sage. Same as mule deer. Like I've heard 1,000 people say mule deer is not good.
That's good.
So what we did. Sorry, did you finish?
No,
like,
that's it.
Your,
yeah, that's my
okay. So shot that. This was on elk hunt as well. Had the antelope tag. Shot the antelope on the first day, and sat on ice for like 3 days while we were there, and then we took it out, cut like a 12-inch strip off of the back strap, soaked it in salt water overnight, and he took it, got a cast iron hot, half butter, half oil, washed the salt off of the back strap, seasoned it, rubbed it in oil, and then just flash seared it. And that was the best back strap I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
You right there, bro?
Yeah.
Working through a Coke Zero.
Yeah. And that was absolutely the best back strap I've ever had.
Yeah.
Ever. And that's how I've been cooking my back strap, my elk back strap, and big, thick elk steaks is just half butter, half oil, flash sear it, let it rest for 15 minutes.
What do you think the salt water does?
I think it pulls out a lot of the blood.
Just draws it out of there.
Yeah.
I've never tried that. I've heard of it. I've never tried it.
You gotta do it. Like all my elk steaks that I cook, I soak them in salt water the night before, and then like to prepare for the next dinner, next night's dinner.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know that it makes it more tender, but it may just be the elk that I shot, but it's like the most tender meat ever.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever noticed like, I mean, I've noticed them being tough and stuff, but like, I've never noticed a negative like a gamey flavor. People talk about a gamey flavor, you know.
Antelope.
Well, in any like wild game, like deer, elk, and stuff.
Yeah.
I did shoot one bull one time that was rough.
I've had a gamey experience. Bad.
Was it the care of the animal, or was it just not?
Well, this one was in Africa. It was a blue wildebeest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like in Africa, they all the animals that you harvest, like I want to do as much as I can to eat that animal. Obviously, almost all of it's given away to different communities, and nothing is wasted over there. But every time we go over there, we at least try like a dinner. They'll make a spread of the animals that we try to eat as much as possible over there. And it was just I think it was a blue wildebeest or a black wildebeest, and it was I can't remember. I think it was just grilled or roasted. And I mean, we had like kudu and impala, and then there was that, and it was like you couldn't swallow it.
Really?
Ugh.
Just the flavor, the toughness.
I don't know if it was like old and maybe not what we had shot, or I don't know, but it was like not edible.
Really?
And that was the worst meat. Well, as far as like a big animal like that goes, that was the worst meat I've ever eaten. But I have had some nasty
dude,
critters.
Yeah, you're always eating weird roadkill type animals and stuff.
Yeah, that's on the list.
Roadkill?
Yeah, we went to we go to New Mexico pretty much every year to snow ski, and I remember just this certain road. There's always a dead elk or a mule deer, and it's always like steaming.
Yeah, fresh.
Yeah. So like what's the laws on that up north?
It varies state to state.
Because I've heard you can like call the game warden and get a carcass tag or something.
I know you can in Colorado.
Okay.
I'm not sure how New Mexico works. Utah, I don't think you can. I think that Utah typically has somebody who goes and picks them up, and then there's a wait list, and like you can get on the wait list, I think, with the division, and then like if they need to shoot one, or if they get a real fresh one or something, and they have like a good usable one, then they call you. You can come get it.
So you can't just like, what are they gonna do if you just go slice a backstrap out of a freshly wrecked?
I mean, you probably wouldn't get caught, but like I could honestly see somebody getting ticketed for something like that.
I need to figure that out because I want to do that.
Yeah. So we were in Colorado one year hunting with the Hush Boys, and Eric rolled in with like a nice big buck in the back of his truck.
Yeah.
Somebody had hit it. He like saw them pull over. He said he got out and he could smell like a ruddy buck because this was in November, and he walked a little bit and it was dead like right there. Dang. And the highway patrolman showed up and he asked him, he's like, "Can I keep that deer?" And the guy's like, "I just got to write you a salvage tag." So they threw it in the back of the truck and he rolled into camp with it in the back of his truck.
And he had another deer tag as well?
Yeah,
Did he shoot a deer? That's crazy.
I think he did. I think he actually killed one maybe like a week later. But yeah, so that buck, he got to keep it and eat it. It was like a 165-inch mule deer.
Dang, that's awesome.
I think that's how it should be.
Yeah. Me and Jared actually, I think it was at his wedding. We were on it was the night before his wedding. We went into town to get something, and there was like a probably 160, 150, 160 buck in a ditch.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, let's call somebody, see if we can get it. We never did, but
Yeah.
it was a good deer. Just like you see a 150 deer in Texas and the horns aren't cut off, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Like I've never done it, but there are so many people in Texas that will just, I mean, even like little 4 points, they'll go and
Pull
cut
over
their
and
horn.
chop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of common everywhere. Like even I think in places where it's really like illegal and frowned upon, a lot of people just pull over and just saw them off real quick.
Yeah. Can't
But-
take that chance.
Nah, it ain't worth
Not
it, man.
worth it, yeah.
So you asked me what my favorite was, and we never came back to yours. I want to know what's your favorites: food, wild game. Like, what's the number one? What's the top list?
I would say I'm gonna give you two because I think there's like a surf and turf. Like there's two favorites. I'd say crawfish probably
Oh, man.
for the surf.
Yeah,
What, man, I got so many though.
crawfish are good.
Crawfish or sushi.
That's a hard choice, man, because it's all about
Between
mood.
those two. Yeah. No, I can always go for both. You can always eat sushi. You'll never be full afterwards.
I guess it depends on location. Like,
Yeah.
but where's like a really good sushi spot? Like around here.
20 minutes that way.
What are we doing? Let's just cancel this podcast and go eat sushi, dude.
We got turkey on there.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm down for sushi for lunch. There's actually a place on the way to the airport.
Let's do it.
It has the conveyor belt.
Oh,
You just pull off the table what you
Let's
want.
go. Let's go.
Alright. So yeah, crawfish and sushi. I'm giving you a lot. And then number one meat would be antelope backshot, just like that.
That's pretty good, man. We both got
Yeah.
the same like number one for the wild game.
Yeah.
The last antelope I shot was young, and I killed him with my bow in August, and I was super paranoid about meat care because like it was like 95 degrees when I killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a full like 150 quart cooler full of blocks of ice when I shot him, and I just drove. He was just out in the sage flat, like right. He died like maybe 50 yards off the side of the road, and I just drove out to where he was, quartered him, like took 10 pictures, quartered him, and he was on ice within 30, probably 25 minutes of being dead.
Yeah, same here.
And that I think makes all the difference with it.
Yeah.
And that seriously, I took it home. I had a cooler, like I had a deep freeze that I rigged up like on a temperature controller, so I can hang meat in there for a minute when I need to.
That's cool.
And I left him in there for just a couple days, got him good and cooled out, and then butchered him myself. And I mean, the back shops were almost like, you don't want them too tender, you know, but like you could cut them with a fork.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they still had that good firmness to them. So.
I wish I still had some. We crushed those that whole
Oh
week.
man, I burned through my
Yeah.
antelope.
That's my antelope right there.
That's a good looking
He's
buck.
not a giant, but we had one day to do it. We probably glassed up 50 or 60 different bucks. Is that what you call them, bucks?
Yeah, they're bucks.
What's another name for them? Bucks.
Yeah, I don't think they call them anything else.
Yeah.
Bucks and does, prairie antelope, speed goats, pronghorns.
Yeah. Probably glassed up 50, and there was one that was similar to him, but I put a stock on him with my bow actually.
Mm.
And I like went over this little ridge, and they were down in this valley, so I came down from this ridge to go up to sneak over to try to get a shot of them down in the valley. And I come over this ridge, and I'm belly crawling at the top of this. I look at Chris, we see one off to our left. He's like 60 yards. I'm like, okay, the buck's gonna be like right there. I just gotta go like one more step and then sit up and try to like draw while I'm laying down, and then sit up and just shoot. And I remember I just like barely poked my head up, and I could see them all. And he was the only, like, they didn't bust us at all or anything. He was the only one that wasn't there. And we like stood up and looked around, and he was like 400 yards
Just cruise
that
out,
way.
huh?
Yeah. And all these other ones, there were some other bucks in there too, and they were just chilling. And pulled the rifle out and just whacked him.
Pop, pop.
So
Yeah.
it was fun. We only had one day, and it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that time of the year it gets dark at like 5:30.
Yeah.
So I think it
Yeah.
gets dark pretty early during elk season.
Yeah, late later fall and
Yeah.
stuff.
But yeah, I definitely want to get on some more antelope.
Yeah.
What's the situation for that? What do we need to do?
I really have only hunted them in Utah. I know that
Yeah.
Wyoming has a ton of opportunity. I have a lot of buddies that go up there and hunt them, and I'm sure we can get that squared away.
Over the counter or what?
I think it's a draw, but I know there's like landowner opportunities and stuff. And I know there are some. I don't know that anybody really has them over the counter, but there's fairly easy draws in a lot of
So like
states.
New Mexico has the biggest antelope, right? New
Yeah,
Mexico,
New Mexico and
Arizona.
Arizona have
Yeah.
giant antelope, and they're a really tough draw in Arizona.
Yeah.
People wait years and years.
And New
to get one.
Mexico.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My brother-in-law drew a really good antelope tag this year in Arizona.
So is the Utah draw
Mhm.
only?
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty long wait for a rifle tag. I think the first time I drew an antelope tag, I think I had about 8 points with a rifle.
Yeah, I think Colorado you can draw. I had a landowner tag, but I think Jared was telling me you can draw archery tag like nothing.
Yeah, Utah has a waiting period, so after you draw, I drew in 2019, and I think it's a 2-year waiting period for antelope.
What do you mean?
So you can't apply for 2 years
After you
after you draw.
Okay.
But I think I drew my archery antelope tag with about 2 points. So they're not
But
tough.
that's your resident. So.
Yeah, I'm a resident, and I just ended up sitting in water, and it's the only water within 10 miles, and it was a drought year. So I saw every antelope that lived within 10 miles of where I was at, you know. And but it still wasn't easy. Like I had a hard time getting drawn on them, and the water I was hunting was like
Yeah, they're
200
spooky.
yards long. So I was trying to position my blind in the right spot, and the antelope I ended up killing actually shot at 87 yards
Dang.
because I could not get one to commit closer.
Craziest thing that I did not know about them is their hair.
Hmm.
It's wild. Just
Yeah.
like hollow little. It looks like a bunch of little porcupine quills.
Yeah, they do have weird hide, and they have those scent glands on their
Yeah.
jaw.
Yeah.
They smell and they're all greasy, but they're cool animals. Surprisingly tasty. How are aoudad, man? I'm always curious.
Delicious.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody dogs them just like they do antelope. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aoudad in here. It's like we were talking about our like top hunts, and that's like aoudad hunt is probably top 3, top 5. I get now. I don't. It's not like a antelope backstrap, but I get them made into burger, and I mean we eat burger year round.
Yeah.
So I have I'm almost out of aoudad burger actually, but we cook it on everything: beef stroganoff to burgers to poppers, whatever you want to do. They're delicious. I get it mixed 80-20 with pork or brisket. So yeah, they're amazing. We got to get you on aoudad.
I want to shoot one.
Yeah.
I'd like to go try it. Like, I feel like that's probably as close as I will get to like a sheep hunt in my life.
No. We're gonna draw a sheep tag one day.
I know. I switched my points over in Utah. Like, I mean, you can't switch your points over. I quit applying for desert bighorn and I started putting in for bison.
Oh really? Why?
I don't know, man. I don't want to wait 30 years to hunt. I can draw an archery bison tag in the next 10. But my dad has max sheep points, desert bighorn points in Utah.
That's awesome.
There's a decent chance that he's going to draw
Dude,
this
let's
year.
just get rich and buy the governor's tag.
Okay. I'm in.
I wish.
Realistically.
No, dude, I had a kick for a while. It was actually the last aoudad hunt I went on. Not the one with Ben, the one before that. And I'm just like obsessed with goats and sheep. Around the time of that aoudad hunt, and I just got online for like a week straight, searching for like the cheapest poor man's goat / sheep hunt you can go on, and there's not one.
No.
I mean, it's like aoudad and mountain goats.
Yeah, you can hunt goats. Like, I mean, you can hunt mountain goats in Alaska for like,
10 grand.
I thought they were a little cheaper, but I guess I haven't looked recently.
10 grand. I mean, that's everything included.
What about a Texas doll?
You wanna go shoot one tomorrow?
No.
250.
I know we had that busted horn one, huh, out at your place.
Yeah. No, they're fun. They're we got them for like kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know where to Texas doll. Like all the different like Jacob's Fourhorn and all these weird sheep. I mean, they're just like
Practice hunting, kind of.
no. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They're just sheep.
No, it's different
But-
strokes, like people.
Yeah.
But
Audad. We gotta get you on Audad.
yeah, I know there's a lot of good opportunity for that in Texas and a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot to hunt down here, man. Every time I come down here, it's like, oh, we can go do this and this and this and this. It's like in Utah, it's like you're either waiting for Springs turkey to start, shed hunting. Like some people shoot rabbits and eat them, but not that many people. Like there's very limited bird opportunities. A lot of guys maybe go hike for chuckers or quail or something.
That's crazy. Like all my buddies growing up went rabbit. Like let's go get some rabbit meat.
See,
Let's go shoot
we would
rabbit.
go shoot rabbits and never eat them.
Wow.
But where we live, jackrabbits, they're jackrabbits and they have tularemia.
I've eaten them. Okay, jackrabbits have tularemia. What do deer have?
Nothing where we live.
Nothing. Yes, they do.
Well,
they can have
ticks sometimes. That's it.
no.
They don't get. And there's no CWD.
There's CWD everywhere.
Not where there's never been positive cases in Utah.
Well, any animal that you shoot and hunt, there's a chance that there's something there. And it's worse. I mean, I'd rather take a chance on a wild animal, which I have my whole life. You don't think twice about it. But you gotta think about, like, the steaks we ate the other night. How processed that was. How many drugs were pumped into that cow. All that kind of stuff.
FDA guidelines are pretty strict, man.
I don't care about FDA guidelines.
I'm telling you, my grandpa's a cattle rancher. Beef's pretty healthy.
No, it's not.
It is. It's
No.
better than you think. People make it out to be like wicked.
Yeah, but still, I'd rather eat a grass-fed elk that's lived an awesome life
Same.
and has a very quick death, hopefully, which is what you aim for, versus a cow that lives in can't move, literally just has its head in a deal eating all day long,
No, I'm with you, man.
And
I'd
then-
rather.
gets slaughtered, which I'm not against it. I don't think I'm a tree hugger. I'm not against it at all. Those steaks were awesome. But I would rather eat an elk steak than beef steak.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I feel the same way.
Yeah. And like your grandpa's deal, that's a different thing. Like where y'all slaughter some family cows every year. That's
He sells calves.
That's growing
for
food.
slaughter,
That
but
is
yeah, we also
totally
do our own
different
meat.
than a cattle farm that just raises like thousands of head of cows just to slaughter.
Yeah. What do you think our time frame is on this recording? We're at almost 30
Let's
minutes.
look at it.
Check the camera. Oh. If we need to stop and start there, we can, and we can just edit it. If you want to just hit stop, and then we can start again.
We'll see y'all in right now. Alright, well, we're back, guys.
The joys of recording these podcasts on this camera is that for some reason,
It's just this camera, too. I don't know.
as most DSLRs have a 30-minute recording limit.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, I mean, that, like what we were talking about with beef cows versus eating wild game, that's one of the reasons that I love wild meat, for sure. And the ethical question there is just a lot easier to answer, you know?
Yeah, not just that. It's like every time you eat it, like everybody always says, it like brings you back to the hunt, but it really like I harvested this for my family. That freezer, both of those freezers right there are stuffed full. And that's what's cool about getting into hunting if you're new or never hunted. Like if anything ever goes down, you're not in trouble. There's a cow in the neighbor's pasture, and I know how to put it down, and I know how to butcher it.
With an air gun.
Yeah, with an air gun. 50 cal. Proven.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like down here, just the amount of edible things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the river we were in today. I mean, there's like 20 species of edible
Yeah,
fish.
we got crappie, catfish, white bass, hybrids.
Yeah, and then you go ride the boat, and there's ducks everywhere.
Yeah.
There's whitetail. There's pigs, and whatever.
Alligator gaw.
And alligators apparently.
And alligators.
One alligator.
That we've heard of.
It's money, dude.
Put that on a cracker.
That dude, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I've literally only seen like 3 clips
On TikTok?
but it's addicting. Saying, "Dude,
Yeah, there's a guy on TikTok that makes these Cajun cooking videos, and he always says, "Put that on a cracker.
put that on a cracker, dude."
That's money, dude." And
Yeah.
we've been talking like
Hey.
the whole week.
Maybe he'll come join a real hunting podcast
Yeah.
or video.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Something Cracker.
I have
Salty
no
Crackers.
idea. I've
I
seen
can't
like
remember
2 or
his
3
name.
videos.
If you're watching, hit us up, bro.
Or if you know him, hit us up. Hit him up to hit us up.
Yep.
Let's get him out to do a real Cajun crawfish boil.
All right.
We ate that for lunch, by the way. Ben, every time he comes down here, he's like, "Oh, we gotta go eat crawfish, bro."
Yeah, you got it, man.
Dude.
I'm telling you, that's like about traveling for me. Like if I find out we're going somewhere, I'm like, what's good to eat there?
Yeah, see, like, but me going to Utah, like, there's nothing there. Not the Thai. What was it? What's that restaurant that me and Ben ate? That's delicious.
Red Fort.
Red Fort.
Indian food.
Indian food, yeah. But that's not like
It's not our local
Utah.
culture,
Yeah,
no.
like
I
what is
don't
y'all's
know.
local?
It's probably just like meat and potatoes, like family cooking type stuff. Man, like, I don't know people say green jello is like the Utah thing.
What?
Yeah, like green jello.
Just straight up green jello?
Yeah.
That's gross.
It's kind of, yeah.
Why is
it's
that a
nothing-
Utah
It's
thing?
a Mormon thing, you know? Like, I guess,
Yeah.
like, when I think of, like, Utah, I think of Mormons. And, like, Mormon cooking
Yeah,
is just, like,
absolutely.
huge family home-cooked meals. I
So
don't
it's
know.
like just big potluck meals.
Yeah, crock pot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, though. I
Roast.
didn't... Because my dad's from California, so, like, we were on we ate different stuff than most of our friends.
Yeah.
So,
I grew up with my dad cooking. My mom cooked too, but like all the wild game my dad would handle, and loved it since I can remember. I've always loved to cook.
yeah. I think that's probably where I got it from, too, is from my dad. Because my dad's the guy that we were talking the other day that he likes to play camp host.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, he likes to... Man, he'll cook these meals on the hill that are just incredible.
Yeah.
And
He's-
he'll come
he's
home to
camp
fresh...
cook.
Yeah, like fresh Dutch oven bread.
I feel like I
and
like
stuff.
to be that guy too. Like,
I'm okay with it.
dude, that steak was killer.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, man.
The older I get, the more I like to feed people.
Yeah. Yeah, it brings joy to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially a long day on the mountain. Come back, just eat a huge meal, and you're just like ready for bed. You're like, oh, that did it.
Yep.
But
Yeah, 100%.
I'm ready for elk season, man.
It's
Deer
it's-
season / elk season.
I mean, this springtime is kind of winding, you know, like it's getting hot. We're in April, so we got a good month of spring festivities and some into even May. But I mean, summer is around the corner, and then it's go time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to go kill the rest of my turkey tags and start elk hunting.
Yeah, man. If I could be down here that much, I'd be eating a lot of turkey nuggets.
Yeah. I need to go check on that.
Oh yeah, we're getting close probably on the time, so maybe we got to wrap this thing up. We'll check
Yep.
the food.
Sounds good.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, talking food. Maybe you don't care about it as much as we do, but obviously, since we sat here and talked about it for 35 minutes, we care about food.
Yeah, I love it.
You're going to see a lot on this channel, but thank you guys for tuning in, listening, and making it through this podcast. And remember,
keep it real.
keep it real.
Yep.
Bye.
Peace.